Hey, how are you guys doing? Robert Terrazas, founder and CEO of Empire Lending Group. This is phase 2, change of mindset. This phase is such a crucial phase to be able to obtain your financial freedom, because most of us are looking for a change because we're doing the same things and we realize that we need to change something to get different results. Albert Einstein had a quote that said, "The definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over again and expecting different results." So hopefully most of you are here because you realize you need that change and that you're looking for what change you need. And I'm telling you, it starts with mindset. To change your life, you need to change yourself. And then to change yourself, you need to change your mindset. So it all starts here. This is so important. And most of the things that I'm talking about and most of the lessons I'm going to reference are from Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you guys haven't read it, I strongly suggest you read it. It's an excellent book, really getting in depth on the points of how we view money and how we need to change our mindset and how it will benefit us and it will help us achieve financial freedom. If you guys haven't read the book yet, I do suggest that either you stop watching the videos, read the book real quick. It's a small book, about 200 pages. Knock that out, then come back, or at least go through the book while you're going through the videos. The reason I say that is the next phase, not the knowledge phase, is it really gets in depth. And with some of the concepts that I'm going to be throwing at you guys, you need to be able to have an open mind, and really you need to have your mindset changed. If not, you're going to be fighting your own mind and you're not going to retain everything and you're really not going to get the most out of it. So again, I suggest you guys read that book, and here we go. We'll hop right into it. So Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he goes into how we view money and the power we give money. In the book, he has a poor father, which is his biological father, and a rich father, who is his best friend's father. Now, growing up, he said he always related more to the rich father because it made more sense to him the way that his rich dad viewed money and viewed business. His poor father, his actual father, was incredibly intelligent, had degrees, and believed really in traditional education. He worked for the school system and I guess was pretty high up within the organization, but at the end was financially illiterate. He didn't know how to invest, he didn't know how to save his money properly, and in the end, he lost his job when he was 52 years old and struggled at 52 trying to start over to get a new job. Now the rich dad, on the other hand, dropped out of high school, but he was one of the most successful and richest people in Hawaii. Now how? Because the way he viewed money, he didn't give it power, and he realized money can be lost, it can be gained, but the mindset of a rich person is the most valuable thing that you can have. A good example I have is Jordan Belfort from Wolf of Wall Street. I'm sure many of you guys have seen the movie. Well, a lot of the things in the movie were true. He lost all of his money, he lost his wife, his kids, and he ended up going to prison. Well, after he got out of prison, he had nothing. Within that first year, he made $10 million. How? Well, he had the knowledge, but he also had the mindset. He understood that money can be gained back like that. Money's not one of these things that you gain once and that's it. It can be lost, it can be gained. It's just you have to figure out how to make money, what's the best way to make money, and what's the fastest way to make money. The rich dad in Robert Kiyosaki's book says the most valuable asset is not money, but it's time. We can't buy back time, we can't gain more of it, but we can always get more money and lose more money. So he says, really, we need to be more stingy with our time and value our time more. And this goes into my next point. How often are most of us on our cell phones, watching YouTube videos, memes on Facebook, whatever it is? How often are we doing things really that aren't benefiting us much? Watching movies, playing video games, whatever the thing is. Try to substitute that time to do something that's going to be productive for you, whether it's reading a book or watching videos just like this one, but something that's going to help you in your future and help you change your life. I'm not saying to completely cut those things out, but try to drastically reduce the time that you spend doing those things and really try to value your time as and see it as your most valuable asset, not money. Another point that the rich dad went into in the book was a lot of people work for money. And what he says is, poor people have the mindset that they need to go to a job, they need to work incredibly hard to be able to earn a paycheck. The rich dad said, never work for money, but have money work for you. Have money put away in investments, because money can work 24/7, 365 days a year, harder than any person can. It works all day, all night, doesn't get tired, and doesn't need to eat. The point I'm making is that if you use your mind, you can earn much more money with less time. You will have more freedom, and at the end, you'll be a happier person. Another thing he goes into is just separating our emotions from money and how we spend money or how we don't spend money in the ways we need to, like investing. You know, a personal story I have that can relate to this is when I was younger, I remember purposely not checking my bank account. When I knew that the money was getting low, I remember purposely not checking it. Why? Well, I know that at the time I possibly had bills coming up, and if I would have seen the number in there, and if that number wasn't enough to be able to pay for those bills, you know, I would have had, you know, anxiety or fears or whatever it may be. But I allowed money to have power over me and to let me feel fear. You know, and that's something you have to separate yourself from. You have to be able to separate your emotions from money. Now, naturally, we're all going to feel those emotions immediately, but you need to push them aside as soon as you can and start thinking with your brain and start thinking logically. How am I going to make more money? Or what do I need to do? To start using your brain. Because I don't know if you guys know, but when we're thinking and we're under stress and we're under fear, we're more or less in fight or flight mode. You're not actually using your whole brain. You're using a very small portion of it. So calm down and then reassess the scenario and say, okay, what do I need to do to make more money? Or what do I need to do with this investment? Or whatever it may be. But don't let your emotions dictate how you spend or don't spend money. Last point on Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he goes into having people pay your debts. He says, whenever I wanted to have a new toy, a car, a boat, or a house, whatever it may be, I always bought assets first that would be able to pay for the debt of that item, the car, the house, the boat, whatever it was. So if he knew that the payment on that boat or car, whatever the item was going to be so much, he knew he had to buy enough assets that were going to generate enough cash flow to be able to pay for that debt. And other people ultimately then were paying for that debt. He says, don't pay for your own bad debt, but have other people pay it for you. And at the same time, you're also gaining assets. So really, he breaks down saying that before you ever buy anything that's going to cost you money, you have to make sure you buy those assets first to pay for that debt. In his next book, he goes into the categorization of how people earn their money. In the quadrant upper left, you have an E, which stands for employee. Most of us have been an employee in our lives. We earn our money by going to work for someone else, and we spend our time, we work hard, and we do a job to be able to earn our income. And that's solely how we make our living is we go somewhere for even whether it's salary or a hourly paycheck, that's how we make our money. The S on the bottom portion is someone that's self-employed. They own their own business, a small business owner, but really they work for themselves. It's a doctor, a lawyer, a dentist, a plumber. The person that truly works for themselves. Maybe they have a couple people work with them, but they do primarily all the work. Now Robert Kiyosaki says the problem is with this person is they want all the control. So they have a very hard time tasking out and letting other people do the minuscule jobs or minuscule tasks that really they can hand off. So really the problem with small business owners is they're working against time because they want to do so much on their own that they only have so much time, and they end up spending a lot of time away from home and away from family because they are having to do so much work and it all falls onto them. Now in the upper right you have the B, which is the big business owner. Really the difference between a B and an S isn't what you think. It's not simply just having more employees. It is the mindset. A B steps back and hires people that are capable to run the company. And simply he dictates the policies and the rules and makes sure that they're implemented by his managers or his CEOs, his presidents, whoever they may be. But he understands that he needs to step back from the company and let it run itself. On the bottom side you have I's, which are the investors. People that solely make money off of investing, typically like the people that I work with. Alright, so I want you guys to take out a pen and paper and we're going to do a small exercise. I want you to write down 5 to 10 names of people that you spend the most time with. And then next to their name, I want you to put in which section of the quadrant that they fall under. Are they an E, are they an S, a B, or an I? But put that letter next to their name. And now that you've done that, I want you at the very bottom to write your name and write currently where you're making your income, from what section of the quadrant. Now after that, I want you to put where you want to be in the quadrant. Now go back over your list and view the people that you've written down, how they make their money. You need to start spending more time with people that are in the section of the quadrant that you want to be in. Tai Lopez in his TEDx talk goes over the rule of 33. He says that we need to spend 33% of our time with people that are below us. And what he means is people that aren't as successful as us, so really we feel accomplished and that we feel good about ourselves. He says you need to spend 33% of your time with people on the exact same level, so really you're being competitive and you're able to bounce ideas off of each other. But the most important is you need to spend 33% of your time with people that are ahead of you. 10 years, 15 years, 20 years ahead of you, but people that are at where you want to be. And those people will be able to give you advice and tell you what you need to do to get to where they're at. And it's good because you need to feel uncomfortable, because you're going to be pushing yourself to get to where they're at, because you're going to feel unaccomplished. And you're going to want to push yourself more and more and more to feel accomplished if you spend more and more time with those people. It's incredibly important to be uncomfortable, but get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You need to be around those people because they will push you and they will drive you. And really, this all relates to mindset. Now, I want you guys to ask yourselves this every day. If other people are doing it, why can't I? The owner of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, the restaurant in town, whatever it is, there's people that are successful all around us. And we need to ask yourself, if these people are doing it, why can't I do it? You see people every single day that are successful, but for some reason most of us believe that we can't do it. Simply go to those people, ask them, what did you do to be successful? How did you get where you are? You don't need to reinvent the wheel, you just need to copy the same formula those people used to gain their success. So whether you want to be a restaurant owner or you want to be a owner of some technology company that creates some awesome product, whatever it is, go to those people, reach out to those people and say, what did you do? Read about these people. Find out what they had to do to become successful and follow in their footsteps. Make your changes here and there, to fit your exact needs, but the point is, you don't need to figure all this stuff out on your own. People are doing it, they're currently doing it, and so can you. Now, Steve Maraboli had a great quote, and I'll leave you guys with this. He says, once your mindset changes, everything else on the outside will change along with it. And it's definitely true. If you guys read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and the other books I will give you guys as referrals next to this video, you will see everything in your life will start to have a different color. The light will change and you will start looking at everything in your life completely differently. You will start seeing things as for value. You'll start viewing things in financial statements, and you'll get what I'm saying after you guys read some of these books. But you will truly start seeing things differently. Things will not just be a house, or things will not just be a restaurant. You will start viewing things as assets and liabilities and expenses and income and investments, all these different things. You will start seeing them. So I hope you guys got something out of this video. The next phase is going to be big. It's probably going to be broken down into a few parts, but really it's going to start getting deep into how investments work and then really what private mortgage investing is. I haven't got to speak too much about really what we do, and I can't wait to really dive into it because you guys are going to be mind blown. So I wish you guys the best of luck on your journey towards financial freedom. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to call me or anyone in our company. We love answering your guys' questions whenever you guys reach out to us. And again, I wish you guys all the best of luck and have a good day.